I hear pretty often about someone's device seeming to slow to a crawl, or that its battery only lasts for a fraction of what it used to. Well, there definitely could be many different reasons this is happening, from a failing battery to a bad upgrade. But did you know that apps can always be running, even when you aren't using them? Here are some quick tips to keep those apps in check and prevent unwanted battery drain. Whether you are an Apple or an Android user, one of the best parts of owning a smartphone is the ability to download all sorts of apps. Both systems allow you to add and open up an app, and then when you leave it, it keeps it open in the background in case you access it again to bypass any loading time. This is really useful for apps that you switch to throughout the day, like your email or messages, but it also has some unexpected performance consequences. Take that awesome airline app you use at the airport to check in and watch your flight status. Well, after your trip, that app could continue to run in the background, even if you have no trips planned or are nowhere near the airport, taking a small portion of your device's resources. Or worse yet, many of the most popular social and media apps will continue to connect and download content in the background, but each download uses both data and power. The more apps you have running, the more computing power your device needs, and that can really add up. Here's how you can close those open apps when you aren't using them. If you have an Apple device without a home button, then all you have to do is swipe up from the bottom of the screen and stop in the middle. If you do have a home button, then press it twice quickly. This will bring up your currently open apps. You can move left or right to navigate through the open apps, and then swipe up if you want to close one. For Android, it's just as easy but may vary slightly depending on the device. If your device has a 3-button menu at the bottom, then press the square button on the right to see a list of open apps. As you scroll through, you can swipe the app window right to close it. On more recent Android devices without that button menu, you can swipe up from the bottom of the screen to get the open apps list. You can move left or right to navigate through them, and swipe the app window up to close it. This will help to immediately give you back some of that extra power, but you will need to remember to repeat this every so often as you use your apps. You can also take things one step further by limiting what apps can actually do while they're in the background, by turning off their ability to update unless you are actively using that app. Now, this might mean that you'll miss those real-time YouTube notifications about fly fishing, but it also means you're reserving your power for only what you are doing. On Apple devices, you can do this by opening your settings, choosing General, and select Background App Refresh. If you want to turn off the ability for all apps to update, then select the option at the top and change it to off. But I usually don't recommend that, as there are some apps that you might want to run in the background, like email or maps. So instead, you can turn off for individual apps by finding one in the list below and then pressing the switch next to the name so it turns gray. For Android devices, it isn't quite as straightforward, but still pretty easy. Open your settings and choose Apps and Notifications. From here, you should see a list of your recently used apps along with the option to see all of your apps. Select one that you want to turn off background updates for and press the Data Usage button. Now you can flip the background data switch so that it turns gray. Just repeat that for any of the other apps you want to limit. By taking control of what you are allowing your device to do, you keep things performing well and conserve battery life, which means one less thing to upgrade or take to the shop.